One more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Dismo!
Brother came along when we used to hustle by my corner.
Mr. DJ, now we are moving on to bout number 6. This is a super bantamweight bout local. This will be between Isaac Tembo and Gracious the Tank Simwalizi. Ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 59.9 kg, please welcome Isaac Tembo from Exodus Stables.
So this is the entrance of Isaac Tembo from Oriental Boxing Promotions, making his entrance into the arena for this national non-title
Isaac Tembo, all the way from Exodus Stables, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we put our hands together for Gracious Simwalizi, all the way from Oriental Quarries Boxing Stables, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, this is the bout that you're about to witness. Just for the sake of our viewers, the official weigh-in for these two boxers yesterday sees Gracious weighing in on 56.25 kg in comparison to Isaac Tempo's 59.50 in this catchweight national non-title fight. Let me just bring you up to speed regarding who is officiating in this particular bout. The referee will be John Sipanuka, and of course judge number 1 in this bout will be Mabin Tante, judge number 2 Sandra Piri, judge number 3 Mabel Mulenga, the timekeeper being Frank Muntali, and of course ring doctors Colonel Patson Banda and Ben Zulu. And the commissioner for this particular fight, Colonel Francis Galufu Mwanza. So that is the officials overseeing this particular bout during the course of this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Gracious Simwalizi. Boxers.
Applauded from the crowd. We are yet to see the second boxer in the blue corner. The referee, Mr. Shipanuka, there is giving instructions. He's trying to chase out the seconda from the other side. The boxer didn't remove the vest. In professional boxing, vests are not allowed.
The first thing that you quickly notice is the height advantage that Isaac Tembo does, possess over his opponent Gracious. Could this be a factor in terms of who comes out on top?
Not really. Height advantage is not a factor. You can remember in the early days of Mike Tyson, you can see his height and the opponents he used to fight. In fact, he took advantage of his weight to make sure that he clamped on his opponent. So height is not an
Judge
advantage.
number 3.
But it will be up to the
Seconds away. Seconds out. Round 1.
So there we begin with proceedings in as far as round 1 of this particular fight. Remember, it is the catchweight national non-title fight between Gracious and of course Moses and of course Isaac, rather, with the two boxers in the earlier stages of this particular bout sizing one another up.
You see, Gracious has started with the clinching, trying to frustrate the other boxer for the question that you asked initially about the height advantage. So the best to do to frustrate the taller boxer is to try to clinch.
So yeah, Isaac Tembo in the black trunks, seemingly on the front foot, the more of the aggressor in as far as this fight is concerned, with Gracious employing a tactic that can best be described as conservative, with him holding on to his opponent to ensure that those points, those punches that he really catch his opponent with regards points do not really have the necessary venom behind them. And the two boxers, I think, with different sort of tactics that they're employing in this particular fight. We did see it in the earlier stages. It was Isaac taking the fight to his opponent Gracious, but Gracious in the recent moments has been the one taking the fight to his opponent.
I've seen the tactic that Gracious wants to use to reduce the height advantage of the other boxer. He should be very cautious, especially if the referee takes note of what his tactic is of holding. He might be disqualified. So it's better he takes caution in terms of holding the taller boxer. That's very dangerous if the referee is very, very strict.
It's an interesting approach or tactic that Gracious is employing. Just quickly notice the way the positioning of his hands is definitely not keeping them up close to his face. Look at that tactic. Surely a dangerous tactic for him to employ, because at any given moments, if Isaac is quick enough, he could land some serious punches, because ultimately you want those gloves up next to your face.
I think his tactic is working to his advantage, because the other taller boxer is unable to throw a straight jab or right uppercut, because the distance is being reduced.
Yeah.
So it's working to the advantage of Gracious.
Referee Shipanuka there, stepping in to enforce the laws of the game before restarting, this boxing bout. That was a nice combination by, Gracious, catching his opponent there, Isaac, with a combination of, right and left, uppercuts as round 1 draws to a close. Remember, this is the catchweight non-title national fight between
3 minutes each.
Gracious and Isaac, and what you're seeing there is just a recap of what transpired in the first round of this particular fight. Your overall submission or summarization of this first round.
This first round was more of assessing each other, sizing each other to see how the long range can be reduced by Gracious Simwalizi. But Isaac also took advantage to make sure that he was the aggressor of the two.
So far, these two boxers seemingly on even paving, as you're seeing on the screen what transpired in that earlier round 1 of this particular fight. And the two boxers really
Seconds away.
contrasting tactics, but really cancelling each other out over the course of that first round.
Round 2.
Round 2 commences.
Round 2 should be able to show us who is who now, because the first round was being taken as a cautious round for each one to size it to the opponent. So let's see what round 2 will give us. You've already seen that Isaac is attacking now and is forcing to go to Gracious Simwalizi and keeping him at a distance so that he's not able to hold as he was holding in the first round. So unfortunately, has gone to a tactic of holding again, but that is very dangerous.
Commentators curse.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Because there's a lot of holding as to oppose, punches in this particular second round. I don't know whether it's by design or by default, but ultimately the crowd here has gathered for a boxing bout, so it'll be interesting to see. Wow.
Usually,
absolutely.
When you are holding, you expend a lot of energy. So the more you hold, the more energy that you lose, and you are giving advantage to your opponent. So the corner for Gracious should actually advise them not to hold, because it's going to lose a lot of energy in terms of holding. It will be more like it's wrestling. So you just need to throw on the target and not in the air.
Good observation there. Conservation of energy, a very crucial factor, very crucial component of professional boxing. How to time those flurry of punches and aggressiveness in the various rounds is crucial to determining whether you emerge victorious or not. And the two boxers in the center of the ring there, with a familiar tactic by Gracious of holding on to Isaac that we've seen over the course of the first round, and definitely the larger chunk of this second round as we enter the final minute of round 2.
And the more you hold, the more you confuse the judges to judge, because the referee and the judges are supposed to judge according to the punches that are going to land on the surfaces that are allowed to be hammered. But if you continue holding, you lose more points, and the referees will give more.
Well, that was definitely a punch that landed, and Isaac definitely scoring big with that right hook, and definitely Gracious feeling the impact of that right hook, with about 20 seconds or so to go in this second round of this fight, as you're seeing a recap of what transpired just earlier on.
When the referee is counting, the boxer is supposed to concentrate on the referee's face as opposed to listening to the audience. You get distracted, and you can be hit by a sucker punch when the referee says box. So it's very, very dangerous. You just have to concentrate as a boxer when the referee is giving instructions.
So yeah, round 2 comes to a close. The highlight, obviously, of that that round was that big, right hand that Isaac left on his opponent Gracious. But yeah, as you can see on your screens, the traditional and old tactic of working the rib cage of your opponent is what Isaac was trying to employ in the larger chunk of that second round. And seen more highlights of what transpired in round 2 in as far as this catchweight national non-title fight between Gracious and Isaac.
Isaac really
Seconds away.
long reach advantage in this second round. If he maintains that, he might be able to score more scores.
Seconds out, round 3.
Counting the scores. Let's see what the next round gives us.
So that's round 3. If you're joining us, this is a catchweight national non-title fight between Gracious Simwalizi and of course Isaac Tembo. Isaac Tembo in the predominantly black trunks, and of course Gracious in the predominantly white trunks.
The referee is really doing overtime in terms of separating them. He doesn't want these fights to be wrestling bout. It's supposed to be boxing, and boxing is supposed to be thrown by punches, not holding.
Just a reminder that this international boxing tournament coming to you courtesy of Oriental Boxing Promotions, coming to you live from the government complex here in the heart of the capital city, Lusaka, Zambia. Brought to you courtesy of Big Tree, who are the manufacturers of Kung Fu energy drink, giving the energy boost to this boxers, as well as Castle Bet. Ensure that you place your bets with Castle Bet, because they have the best odds in as far as the sports betting market is concerned in the country, as the two boxers once again exchange punches with a combination of left and right, uppercuts and hooks from both the two boxers. The referee coming in to once again ensure that he enforces the rules of the game. Another wild, hook that doesn't reach its intended target by Isaac Tembo. Again, the familiar tactic of holding on to one another is what is being characterized in this third round of this bout.
I think the holding tactics is working well for Precious, because he's able to frustrate the other opponent. And if Isaac is reading his opponent's tactics, he needs to retreat a bit and keep the reach, especially the jab. He should keep the hand reach, and that should be able to catch his opponent and be able to repair him from holding. The referee there is still working overtime to separate the two boxers, and not clinching, which is not supposed to be the case. We've seen now that it's more like a wrestling, so the referee should come in and try to separate the boxers. I think the tactic for losing of holding is really frustrating the other opponent. So the other opponent is really becoming aggressive so as to deter the other boxer from holding him. So let's see what this round is going to give us for now.
Spot on with your analysis there of what is transpiring and the impact of Gracious holding on to Isaac and what it's doing ultimately in this particular fight, as of course, as I say that, round 3 comes to an end.
Driver for the ambulance, driver for an ambulance, can you please come to where the jury is? Driver for the ambulance, can you please come to where the jury is?
This particular bout. A lot of punches not really hitting the intended spots or intended targets. Surely this is energy sapping and only going to prove detrimental to both boxers going to the 4th round.
The resilience to endure the fatigue that goes with the holding
Seconds away.
this type of fighting.
Final instructions by both corners.
Seconds away.
Ahead of
Seconds out.
round 4.
Final round, round 4.
With a ring there signaling the start to round 4 of this particular, bout. It's the catchweight national non-title fight between Gracious Simwalizi of Oriental Boxing Promotions in the white trunks, and of course Isaac Tembo in the black trunks. In the center of the ring are the two boxers currently holding one another.
Yes, the two boxers are still sizing each other, and the long reach of Isaac is now having a toe on Simwalizi, but Simwalizi is able to catch him by trying to hold so that he frustrates him. The referee is on spot to make sure that he cautions them not to be holding.
If we have to go to the scorecard, in your opinion, which boxer is seemingly ahead at this particular point?
This bout is very difficult to judge because most of the time the boxers are holding, and the straight punches and the targets are very difficult to touch. So my opinion would be that we'll wait for the 3 judges' scores at the end of the final round. There's a lot of holding.
So roughly halfway through this particular bout, and of course Isaac landing one there on his opponent, Gracious. The fight referee, John Shipanuka, seemingly concerned and issuing some instructions of some sorts. As the bout resumes with the two boxers exchanging blows once again. A familiar feature that we have seen. Wow, swing by
Isaac. So the fight seems to have taken momentum as we get closer to the end of this round.
And so we are now reaching the final stages of round 4 in this bout, with the final 10 seconds approaching. I think it's been an evenly fought fight between these two boxers, and I think you're right when you say that, you know, ultimately this one will be decided by the judges unless something extraordinary happens in these final seconds.
Yes, especially that we are seeing that the fatigue is getting its toll for both boxers. So anyone who try to endure the remaining few seconds of the rounds will take the day.
So there you go. That's the end of the round, and I think the boxers themselves have given their all. Nothing they can do now. Their job now is to wait for how the three judges rather are going to view this particular, you know, fight.
Exactly, the corners are doing their tasks to make sure that they rejuvenate their boxers and give them a few tips from what they've observed during the first up to the round preceding. So we'll see what tactics will be employed by both boxers in the next commencing round.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just seen an explosive fight in bout number 6 in the super bantamweight national non-title fight between Isaac Tembo of Exodus Stables versus Gracious Simwalizi of Oriental Quarries. And now we just wait for the totaling of the judges, and
the official announcement in terms of the result of this particular bout coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's listen in. So as we await the official announcement of the results of this catchweight national non-title fight between Gracious Simwalizi of Oriental Quarries and of course Isaac Tembo.
Well, what an explosive bout, and of course this is live and direct from the government complex, ladies and gentlemen, and this was a catchweight featuring Gracious Simwalizi versus Isaac Tembo. Now, in our midst, I have one and only Coach Sting Hastings-Walia. Coach, looking at the fight in the tournament today, would like to hear your views on how you feel this whole program has been going.
Yeah, the fight, you know, what can I say about Gracious? Gracious Simwalizi, he did well, you know. He ran away from him because this guy, I was there at the wing. It was 59, something like that, 59 point something. Gracious was 50.
So probably let me just interrupt so that we can catch the official announcement of the result before, you know, Hastings can continue with his line of thought.
Thank you so much.
So just we pause for the official results by the ring announcer, Mr. Alec Mugala, before we can continue with our, thoughts recapping on this particular, bout with the champion, Sylv Hastings, who's alongside me here in commentary position, who's taken up, punditry roles, if you like, for this, international boxing bout. We shall be getting, the thoughts of some of the other, international boxers and champions that we've seen. But for now, let's go to the ring announcer.
37-38. Judge 3, 38-37. On split points, ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Gresha Simwalizi.
So the winner by points is Gracious. Hastings, your overall thoughts? Do you think that Gracious is a deserving winner of this fight?
You fought a good fight. How do you feel yourself about the fight? TJ.
At the first round, Gracious won the round. Was reading the round, and he was assessing, professional. Even if you are not throwing the punches, but those who are looking like you want to start the fight. The one who won the fight, want to fight. This is boxing.
Thank you very much.
You don't want to go in the ring like you don't want to throw the punches.
How do you feel about your win this evening?
So the
I feel so great because the fighter was fighting. This is his first professional fight. So it's not easy when you are fighting a guy who is coming in the game for the first time.
Second round and the third round, that guy is dropping down.
They will try to do things
so when you get dropped down,
I managed to become victorious. So
forget about that round.
Okay.
What can you say about his future?
The same round.
His future is bright. He just needs to keep on training.
The judges.
To not lose
the fight, Gracious won the fight, but
Thank you
didn't
very
look good.
He has got an
the way
experienced guy.
I was expecting to see.
The other thing is that it was a catchweight. It was a
this
catchweight
guy,
fight.
but this one
But I
is
managed
his
to win.
second fight.
So I'm proud of myself.
What you're seeing on your screens
Thank
is
you
just,
very much and congratulations.
the post-match
Gracious
interview that,
Simwalizi.
Gracious has graciously given us as he exits the ring. But quickly, before we look at the next bout and before I let you go, what does Isaac Tembo, who was defeated today, need to work on moving forward so that he becomes a better boxer?
Coming up, ladies and